Why are you so angry?
Go f*** yourself, rebel.
So you subscribe to cancel culture, in other words. If it offends you, you want it canceled for everyone.
I never said I called the cops because it was illegal.
I'm talking about like treating others as you would be treated yourself.
Yes.
Sadly, there's a misconception in that all we do is preach hate, but it's not the case.
If you believe in freedom, why do you want them canceled, sir?
Because they are not believing in freedom. I do not. They are canceling.
David Menzies for Rebel News here in downtown Toronto. And folks, we're doing a follow-up story on Pastor Jeffery Sapocinik. He is the street preacher that routinely gets harassed. Sometimes it's by reprobates passing by who get handsy. Sometimes it's by the police service who shut him down under threat of arrest. And it happened a couple of weeks ago. One of his followers was actually physically assaulted. The police came and, well, it's kind of like what happened in Lindsay, Ontario, when Jeremy McDonald gets arrested and charged with 2 serious charges, aggravated assault and assault with a weapon, for defending his home and his life. In any event, check out what happened.
Anti-people. No. Actually, I am anti-sodomy. Yes, I am.
I'm gay.
But I'm pro.
What do you do about it?
Nothing.
Fuck you.
Preach to you, you reprobate. Preach to you.
If you touch me,
Dude, I got
Well, you're
Hey! Idiot.
really, what is this? What are you doing? Why are you gonna hit me? Oh, you're hitting a senior citizen. I'm 70 years old.
And you don't lay a hand.
Don't
lay a hand on us. You're the one who's abused. By the way, you're on camera.
And you hate people.
By the way, we have it on camera. So if you arrest him, we have it on camera. Oh wait, they're arresting Jay. Get this on camera. Okay, can you arrest him? He assaulted us then. He assaulted us. He grabbed him first. That guy grabbed him. So if you're gonna be fair, gentlemen.
Yeah, so that person that was getting all handsy, he made a statement that he's 70 and he's gay. That means you're exempt from the Criminal Code of Canada? Unbelievable. Also, I should point out, we are in the middle of crime wave, and yet somehow there are police resources available to shut down a Christian street preacher? Can you connect the dots? Also, what's very significant, I don't think this pastor crosses the line. I am a free speech absolutist, but of course there is a line. And that line is when you advocate harm or death to a person or to an identifiable group of people. The pastor does not do that. Now, you might not like his message, but 'twas ever thus, if we didn't like something, a movie, a radio program, a TV show, we would keep walking, we would change the channel, but we now live in cancel culture. And the snowflakes out there who adhere to cancel culture, they want to take choice out of your hands. They want it their way or the highway, essentially, and the police are their enablers. In any event, we are back here today to see if there's going to be any shenanigans. The pastor will be here for about 2 hours. And I can tell you, I was late getting on the scene, but my camera woman, Avery Armstrong, she was here on time, and she saw one of the congregation here get spat right in his face. Here, check it out.
The Bible says this will also.
You know, folks, that is assault. And I can tell you, when I speak to law enforcement officers, they'll say, if we ever get into a scuffle with anyone, we would much rather a punch, a kick. But when it comes to bodily fluids, that's a potential death sentence if the person was, say, infected with HIV or some other kind of disease. In any event, Avery and I are here to bear witness. We're going to see if he engages with any violent passersby. and whether he'll engage in the police, because technically, if you can imagine, he's already violating a fake law, which is to say, police told him they don't want him preaching in downtown Toronto. But here's the thing, folks. Their definition of downtown Toronto, I think it was from Highway 427 to the west, Victoria Park to the east, the 401 to the north. That's 90% of the city. And by the way, that is not a real law. So let's see what unfolds in the hours ahead. Well, folks, I'm with Luke, and Luke was the person that Avery Armstrong caught on her camera getting spat on. And, you know, Luke, what do you make of that? Was this just some random passerby that decided to spit on you for what?
Well, because I'm Christian, apparently, I guess, right? If you stand for the things of God, you get spat on. It's just I'm used to it at this point, right? When you're actually just proclaiming, evangelizing, proselytizing in public, right? They think that they can just treat you like an animal, I guess. They can spit on you and get away with it. But at this point, I'm so accustomed to it.
All right, folks, I'm with Jay, and just a couple of weeks ago, Jay was the one that A, got assaulted, and B, got arrested. So Jay, try to make sense of this for me, because that fellow got handsy with you, and yet you end up getting cuffed and put in a police cruiser. Why?
I don't really understand it, David, but yeah, it originally started with him grabbing onto my brother's equipment here, and I tried to separate the both of them, and then he grabbed onto me, and I tried to get him to back off, and then that's where the scuffle happened. Somehow he got cut, and then he proceeded to call the police, and later on they came and arrested me, just based on his word.
But, you know, that's all very well and good, but it seems to me this man was lying. You weren't the one that cut him, at least not intentionally. Isn't this filing a false police report? Isn't this a criminal charge?
Yeah, I believe it is. And I'm still surprised that the officers just let him go. And he apologized to me publicly. And I guess that's going to be on my record now whenever they search me up.
Oh, but they dropped the charges, I assume, though, right?
I don't know if they were dropped.
Okay.
But they didn't arrest me. They just detained me for that period.
There seems to be a normalcy bias. But make no mistake, we are living in the last days before the return of Jesus Christ.
But I didn't hear any chance for genocide. I didn't hear any chance to kill people.
I think that's a different issue than the one we're talking about right now.
I think it's far more serious, actually. It is a different issue.
Those are two separate issues. I think, well,
Why wouldn't
I'll have
you-
a conversation with you about what's going on here, not with whatever else you want to talk about. That's another world issue.
I've been here for, been about 5 minutes right now. The first minute and a half, 2 minutes I've got here, there's been numerous people walking by the preacher here, calling him the F word, calling him derogatory names. Nothing will ever happen to them. It just seems to me like the Toronto police are criminally harassing this gentleman here for preaching what he believes in. Even though some might not agree with it, he has the right to say what he wants to say, and it's his right to do so.
You can't handle the convicting power of the Word of God?
Well, folks, I'm with Pastor Jeffery Sapocinik, and I guess it's not a typical day at the office in terms of there were no police raids of your street preaching. What do you think it is? Do you think maybe they're actually out solving real crime? Or maybe is this a sign that they can't intimidate you, they can't force you to stop preaching the gospel, so what the heck, they've given up? What's your take, sir?
I personally think maybe that our last interview may have had an effect on them, actually.
Oh, okay.
I personally think that. Because this is not normal.
Yes.
Usually you'll see one, they'll pull over here,
Yes.
And so obviously I think the word is getting out there, so I'm really thankful for that.
Well, you know, they have no grounds in which to arrest you. I know it's very trendy in certain circles to be anti-Christian. Just ask Sean Foyt about that. But what is despicable, I think, and we addressed this before, you can go to these pro-Hamas demonstrations. They're actually chanting genocide, displaying swastikas, dressing up as terrorists. Cops don't do anything.
Absolutely.
Why?
Why? Well, because really, I firmly believe that they're actually trying to break down, as we mentioned earlier, the Judeo-Christian fabric of our nation that was built upon.
Yes.
Right? We lived in a time where actually, even if you didn't actually necessarily, you weren't a Christian, the Bible sort of created a framework even for our legal system and everything else, right?
Yes.
And even our morality. Once you break that down, everything goes.
I am going to keep preaching.
This is hate speech.
See, this isn't hate speech. This man is accusing us of hate speech.
What do you think of the pro-Hamas terrorists chanting genocide?
What's that?
What do you think of the pro-Hamas protesters chanting genocide?
I can't f***ing hear you, buddy.
Yeah, I don't believe you.
Sorry, what's that?
Yeah.
Is that rebel?
That's your rebuttal?
Go f*** yourself, rebel.
Why are you so angry?
Go f*** yourself, rebel.
You're
a hack. You're a f***ing hack.
You can't articulate your argument?
But the thing is, when you mock the preacher, what you're effectively doing is anesthetizing, numbing yourself to the piercing effect of its message. And Hebrews 4 and verse 12 bears this out.
Can you give me an example of a hateful statement?
God is loving, but He also hates. I'm not really sure where that's coming from. I don't know. This is not what the Bible says.
A woman has a right to choose. So why doesn't she have the right to choose to abort a female baby as opposed to a male baby?
I think she should have the right to abort both.
Okay, but we know that's not happening in certain cultures.
No, that's bullshit, man. Just saying it's not going to happen doesn't give any justification to what could happen. I can say,
but it is happening.
Yeah, Canada's not going to go into war. It's not going to happen. But that could still happen. It's the same with your saying abortion.
Sir, I have no idea what you're trying to say.
I'm not judging you. Do whatever you want.
Okay, so if you believe in freedom, why do you want them canceled, sir?
Because they are not believing in freedom. I do not. They are canceling.
So lost police are on the same side as lost Islamists, I guess, and so it's just utterly incoherent. I mean, they'll even threaten the cops, though, too, and then they'll get away with it.
100%.
We try to be as respectful as we can. We want to actually respect civil authorities, right? We're not anarchists. We're all for law and order, and yet we're the ones getting harassed just for preaching the gospel.
Can you explain how we got here, and why is there such a double standard?
I can't really explain it, David, but I think that slowly over the years, just these groups have gotten together, and I guess they've gotten big enough to be able to let this thrive. I'm saying, and there aren't enough people doing what we're doing, and I guess that's why we have such opposition on a weekly basis.
I believe that we've turned our back on the one Creator.
Okay.
Again, it's not that everyone is a Christian, but we've turned our back on the morality, because the Bible really creates a framework by which we live. When you turn your back on that, anything goes.
Yes.
And the side of hope,
stupid.
you might call it stupid.
Get an education.
See, again, that's a very powerful counter argument. You see, that's what they do. They mock the preachers. I'm used to being mocked. To be quite frank, I am used to being mocked.
Would you agree there's a line between an offensive opinion and actually chanting genocide?
Talking about this and talking about that, those are two different things. But talking about this, I think...
I agree they're two different things. I don't see them chanting for anyone to be harmed.
Well, they are. They're being quite harmful right now. This is a little bit of a verbal harassment, I would say. I'm sorry.
This is hate speech. This is hate speech. Yeah, this is hate speech.
Based in Canada, this is crazy.
So Afghanistan?
Where
can you preach? Where can you preach the gospel then? Why
Anywhere.
not Canada?
Anywhere.
You said not Canada.
Where are you from, sir?
France.
France. Okay then.
Country of freedom.
Oh really? Okay then. Don't you have some problems in France right now?
None of this.
What about migration? It used to be if you didn't like the message of somebody or something, you would change the channel. You would keep walking by. But now we have this environment of cancel culture. Your message must be shut down. There is no freedom of choice to hear it. How did we get here?
Well, you saw that gentleman, I hate to use the word gentleman almost, but he was saying we should be canceled. That was his word. He actually used the word canceled. These guys should be canceled. Remember? That's what he said to us.
Yeah, but what was amazing is that his preface was, he's a supporter of freedom.
Well, exactly. That was the incoherence. So the point is, we obviously honor everyone's freedom to walk by, ignore the message. You don't have to become a Christian. You don't have to be say. Obviously, we're not persecuting anyone. We're not some kind of state religion. We have no power like that. That's not what we're trying to do, and we wouldn't want to do that anyway. We believe in individual soul liberty, as a matter of fact, right? So we're not for compelling anyone by sword or anything like that. And yet he wants to cancel this in the name of freedom. It's just incoherence.
Unbelievable. Well, folks, welcome to Mark Carney's Canada. We support freedom. I want you canceled. I don't see any Toronto police cruisers in sight.
Yeah, that's it's actually quite surprising. Usually there are at least 7 that have gone.
7?
Yeah, at least.
7 cruisers, and we're in the middle of a record crime wave.
It's interesting how the resources are being spent, but yeah, that's normal on a weekly basis. They usually come through here like nonstop.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, folks, there you have it. Welcome to Olivia Chow's Toronto. Real crime, home invasion, car theft, assault, murder. Well, we'll get around to it. But if there's a thought crime happening, calling all cars.
I'm talking about like treating others as you would be treated yourself.
Yes.
Sadly, there's a misconception in that all we do is preach hate, but it's not the case.
So you subscribe to cancel culture, in other words. If it offends you, you want it canceled for everyone.
I never said. I called the cops because it was illegal.
Why? Okay,
It was illegal. I called them and they said, "Oh, we'll come and send someone."
What part of the criminal code are they violating?
I'm not a lawyer. I can't cite it. I know it's there.
Folks, does it seem to you that Christianity is increasingly under attack? Whether it's the American Sean Foyt being shut down in Canada or Pastor Jeffrey right behind me. Well, enough is enough. Please go to our website, letusworship.ca. That's letusworship.ca. Sign the petition, and if you can, please make a donation so that Rebel News can continue to bring you the other side of the story.